and welcome to Movie Mayhem here at Suspiria Works Cinema, where we watch all the movies. Today we're doing another director series on Umberto Lenzi. You'll see this is called Part 42, because I actually did want to do a whole series on Lenzi. He's done so many different movies and different types of movies that it's really interesting. A lot of movies people don't necessarily know he did, and some are quite good. It's not quite the... He was never a Matei where they were all pretty much kind of sleazy crap. Lenzi made some pretty damn good movies. However, Nightmare City, at least in my collection, is the 42nd disc in my Lenzi collection by year of release. So I didn't want to wait 2 years to review this brand new release from Raro Video, so we're getting part 42 first as a placeholder. Nightmare City, if you haven't seen it, it's an interesting flick. It is not a zombie movie, as Lenzi will very, very determinately point out to you. This is an infected movie. Most easily comparable to something like 24 Days Later. It's a bunch of people get infected with this psychotic, like, rage virus. And I don't know for sure, but that's kind of the first... I mean, this might be the first of that type of movie. There is a cool bonus on here where Lenzi has an interview just talking about this. It goes on for like 40 minutes. It's just Lenzi talking with an interviewer, but he discusses a lot about the movie. And he was approached to make a zombie film in this time because... Again, those were the big thing coming out of Italy, and they wanted everyone to capitalize on that. So Lenzi didn't really want to do that. He liked to be different. He wanted to add his own flair, something to it. So here's what you get. It's a giant military plane arrives. Hugo Stiglitz is a star who, again, most Euro horror fans know him from, like, this movie. But he's a huge star in Mexico. So, you know, you got, besides him, I don't really recognize anybody else. And you got anyway, the people arrive, the guys come out, and they're all crazy and start killing everybody. Again, the infection spreads just like any other zombie movie. A bite or whatever turns you crazy. And you get the weird poop face. I don't know what. The makeup is kind of awesome, because like when they're really done makeup, it doesn't look like zombie makeup at all. It looks like they got the fake little piles of shit. That's what it looks like they put on their face. So, I mean, that part's hilarious. Outside of the goofy makeup, the movie's pretty good. It's a damn good flick. It's a great survival flick. I mean, there's tons of good moments of suspense. It's a plausible scenario. The end of the movie has a little like a trick false ending, and with it though, I like it. It's actually a cool false ending. It doesn't rob you of the movie. It kind of enhances it in a way because you know what's coming. And I thought that was kind of cool. A lot of times those type of endings, and I'm purposely not spoiling it, but those type of endings can kind of, I don't know, fudge a movie and make it feel kind of flat and like you didn't have anything invested in it. But I think Lenzi does a good job of this. The movie, the Raro Video release, has both the English and Italian audio. Italian audio with subtitles. It's hit or miss. I watched it with both. The acting in the Italian is maybe, I would say slightly better, a little more sincere with the dubbing. This was not shot sync sound anyway. None of these movies were, so they're all post-dubs. So you're not really going to miss anything that way. And you don't have with the Italian movies, when you do the English dubbing, it's not as caustic as like watching a Chinese movie dubbed in English, because at least the Latin base of the language makes the mouth movements look somewhat okay, and they can kind of be matched up, so it's not horrible where you've got voices going on and mouths not moving and vice versa. So I can't recommend either dub over the other, whichever one you prefer. It's kind of fun to watch them both. The print it's a little on the soft side, but again, we are talking about Nightmare City. If you've watched any other prints of it, it's always kind of looked like shit, and this at least doesn't look like shit. It looks pretty darn good. It's nice. The only extra you get is the interview I mentioned earlier with Lenzi talking about the movie. That's cool. With this type of movie, I mean, there was no... there wasn't an HBO first look crew filming like they did for Empire Strikes Back or something, so I'm not sure what much you could have gotten other than some more brand new interviews with people around. That's possible. So, kind of skimpy on the extra, but again, you can't expect much more out of this type of movie. This is a very well done release. It's the best print of the movie available to date. Obviously, there is apparently another Blu-ray coming out, so we'll see how that compares. But as far as the movie goes, I really like this Lenzi movie. It's a lot of fun. You can have the laughs and enjoy it for fun, but it's also a pretty good movie with some nice acting and a cool little storyline. So I give this movie a 8 out of 10 for the film. Raro Video's release, I'm going to go with a 8.5 out of 10. It is pretty soft and maybe a couple more extras, but again, as far as what's available, this is definitely the best version available. There's no touch-up done, so you get the scratches on the film, and it gives a nice genuine look, but I still dig it. So, check it out, and eventually we'll get to part 1 of Lenzi, hopefully when I get through with the Matei series, because I still have to go back to Stuart Gordon, but this is the 42nd movie that will be in the Umberto Lenzi series of reviews. So, we'll see you next time here at Movie Mayhem.